everybody, and welcome to Train Sim World 2. We're going to be addressing an elephant in the room in this video. I'm going to try and keep it as light-hearted as possible, but I mean, that's a bit hard. Let's start off by getting our doors open. Let's get our headlights to right. Let's get our cab lights on. Get our brake key unlocked. We'll put a tiny bit of train brake on just so I don't go rolling. And let's get our safety systems on. Hopefully we don't get PZB'd. Is that? No, that's direct brake, so we're going to use this still for AFB. Still got to use the manual keys for that one. We need to turn the headlights on up here. Alright, so I've got the loco set up. So yes, we're going to be addressing an elephant in the room. We're driving from Riesa down to Dresden on a full-length run today. So it should take about half an hour. You've probably all heard of what's happening in Ukraine, so I don't really think I need to remind you all of that. But yeah, it certainly seems like it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. With the way Russia is escalating things even further, even with talks of peace in the mix. Let's get moving. So, I thought for the few of you maybe who don't know what's going on, I'm not going to explain it much here, but I thought I'd just bring a bit more awareness to the issue. I think you can probably tell what my personal thoughts are on the matter. I side with the many. I side with the many on this one. Okay, there's 20 kilometers an hour. Grab Sifa there. I didn't see what the signal aspect was, so I'll chuck a bit of that in. Okay, let's get a bit more throttle going. Grab Sifa. So yes, I stand with the many on this one. If you can support Ukraine in whatever way possible, then please do. I have no Ukrainian heritage. I'm like 0% Ukrainian. I have no Russian heritage, as far as I'm aware. My family history is a bit of a shit show. Yeah, I am not aware of any links to Ukraine. This is an unprovoked attack by Russia on Ukraine. And with Putin readying his nuclear weapons and sending a lot more force into Kiev and faking a genocide, there's not much that people can support him over. And I mean, I don't want to get too far into this because this is a train channel, but I mean, I'm making this is a two-part series. I've got another video, or depending on how well this does, it might be a two-part series. But thousands of people killed, hundreds of thousands left without housing. It sparked a refugee crisis, an economic crisis, mainly in Russia though. But because Putin probably wanted to do this to, as all leaders would, if you're failing or if you're losing support in your country, start a war to divert the attention. So Putin's doing this. Unfortunately, the war hasn't really diverted attention from him, or hasn't made him any more heroic. It's made him less heroic, especially after he's underestimated the willingness of the Ukrainians to fight. So, you know, he's just going to increase the force on his own people as well. Thousands in Russia have been arrested, well, like corruptly and dodgily arrested after they protested Russia's involvement in Ukraine. And, you know, a lot of the Russian soldiers in Ukraine are conscripts. They don't want to be there, you know, and Putin's just sending them in as, you know, fodder. Mind you, though, the Ukrainians on Snake Island, they are like my spirit animals. I have so much respect for them. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. It's you know, a bit of comedy, and, all of the sadness. But yeah, so if you can support Ukraine in any way possible, be that through financial aid mainly, then please do. If I remember, I'll put some links in the description where you can donate to Ukraine. And it's good to see, because, you know, a lot of countries have previously been quite sort of anti-involved in this situation, but it's good to see that more and more NATO countries, and not just NATO either, are getting more involved. Like we've seen Germany, Sweden, the UK, the US, Australia, where I'm from, Poland, and a bunch of other countries, Belgium, I think, France, possibly, all sending billions and billions of, well, a couple $1 billion worth of weaponry and humanitarian aid. I know Norway is sending humanitarian aid only, $2 billion worth of humanitarian aid. So there's a lot of support going to Ukraine, and, you know, a lot of people have been saying that sanctions won't be enough, but, you know, Putin had over $500 billion, you know, $660 billion US dollars stashed away in foreign bank accounts, if I'm correct. And after basically Russia has had its ties severed with the rest of the Western world, he's more or less lost that $500 billion, which he was going to use to fund, or he was going to use part of to fund this invasion of Ukraine. On top of that, we've seen the Russian ruble fall to an all-time low. You can look up the Russian ruble compared to your own currency from where you're from, and you'll see in the last 5 days it's dropped about about 70 or 80%. You can see 363 doing a shunting in the chemical plant down there. It's very nice to see. But yeah, what a world we live in. What a world. But, I mean, as with everything, you've got to take what you see on the internet with a pinch of salt, because, you know, there's propaganda on both sides, and some of it might be, you know, unintentional as well, but, yeah, so you've got to treat everything with a pinch of salt, definitely. I mean, fortunately for me, here in Australia, we're quite far away from the fighting. We were at one point quite far away from the fighting. Who knows what's going to happen? Let's get up to 130 kilometers an hour. Yeah. Russia seems to be trying to use its nuclear force as a threat, but I don't think the rest of the world is really worried by that too much. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I mean, I'm following the news probably a bit too much at the moment. But yeah. Okay, so we're going, where are we going? We are going around the fast lines. So we up to 160 now. You can see here that we've got the slow lines coming off this side. And the fast lines around this side. Take a bit more power. There we go. Tiny bit more power, or will that wheel slip? No, that's alright. Alright. Okay, so there's 160. The AFB is holding us there. Back on the uphill now. It's an interesting alignment, so catch Sifa there. Look, I'm a pessimist myself, and obviously when Russia launched its invasion, I didn't think the Ukrainians stood much of a chance. But they've lasted what, 4 days? They've held on to Kiev for 4 days, which is 4 days longer than I think most people thought they would. So that really demonstrates that they're actually really willing to fight. And Russia has all of this power. And it could be that they haven't used much of it, or any of it, but it could also be because of their military incompetence. Must have been a fairly unplanned invasion, because it's gone a bit sort of pear-shaped from Russia, certainly. And who knows, maybe there could be a coup in Russia. Who knows? But certainly watch this space, kind of thing. The lovely what branch is that? That's the something or other branch. I'm sure you'll all flood the comments with what it is. I have forgotten. There used to be a T-junction here at some point, probably. That there. That's the Meissen branch, isn't it? Yeah, that's the Meissen branch. And there's this freight spur, which would go off to the airport, the Flughafen, but of course it doesn't. But that's a story for another time. Okay, slow down for the 120 coming up. The AFB on this is pretty strong. I can't remember. Oh, far out. Really? Okay, right, I'm turning Pisa B off. Nice if the brakes released at some point. Is that still? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Right. Well, we'll leave Pisa B off then. How about that? No, still wheel slipping. Okay, leave it at 70% then. No, still wheel slipping. Drop me down. It's a very power-hungry loco, this one. Seafer. No one likes you. Okay, oh my god. So easy to wheel slit this thing. So easy. What are my signals telling me? My signals are telling me that I am okay. Something happening at Meissen. Another something happening at Meissen. Where's the branch down here? It's a pretty busy branch. Where are we, and is there anything coming our way? See, from here we should be able to see the other line, because it's pretty close. Let's catch Seafer. Yeah, it's along there. It's cool that they included these two lines, you know, unlike Sherman Hill where they just couldn't afford to include the other ones. Oh, it's much closer. It's just here. Yeah. The other line is just there. It's very close. Grab Seafer. And yeah, what are your thoughts on the Ukraine conflict? Make sure to let me know. I'm actually genuinely interested. So, are you scared? Do you feel like everything is under control? Do you feel like your country is doing enough? You know, what is your thought? What are your thoughts on the situation? What do you think the end result will be? Okay, let's get a bit more power. Okay. Grab Seafer. Okay, we're back up to 160 for a little bit anyway, until we join back onto the main lines. We might be stuck behind something else. There's a freight train. It's being called by, it looks like a 18... Oh no, it looks like a 143. Could be a 112 though. It's 143. Okay, let's jump back to our train. Come on, frame rate. Come on. There you go. We've got to come down to 130 in a while, but until then we should be alright. Nice. Okay, so that's saying the 130. I'll start to break it a kilometre out. There should be a Morpeth, or the equivalent of a Morpeth board. There might not be. Let's see, because this signal is telling us that we should be at 130 now. But we are going... Oh no, we're still applying a good amount of brakes even though we're going downhill. We're on the main, running through. I don't know where this line goes. Probably just a freight branch or something. There's another freight train, really? Already? Done a MRC 185. Nice. Okay, and we're back up to 160, although for how long, I'm not sure. Yeah, back down to 130 in a second, so we'll drop our speed back. Is this the other full narrow gauge railway? No, not yet. That is down here, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, what is happening here? Are we swapping line? No, we're not swapping line. Why, oh why, is the speed limit dropped again? Okay, now back up to 160. Could have stayed at 160 the whole time. Whatever. Should have a 143. 143 with Dostos, obviously. Or is that a... no, that's a 146. So we're steaming through on the up fast. I don't actually know what it's called. I'm going to assume it's the up fast because it's towards Dresden and it's the fast. In most places, this would be the up fast of it. Yeah. If you speak German, let me know what up fast is in German. Okay, coming up to Dresden, we're probably going to be a bit late because we're due in 2.5 minutes. When are we due into Dresden proper? 5 minutes after that. And the actual difference between them is that far. It'll be a challenge, but we might be able to. Who knows? But S-Bahn Dresden. And when are you going to go? Let's have a look. Okay, that's closing. Lovely. Right, let's hop back to our train now. I said, can I have you on? Thank you. Okay, it's got 1.5 minutes to get to Dresden. Although, all things considered, we're not doing too badly for time. We're going to be late, but hopefully I can reduce the amount of lateness. Comes a talent. Six carriages. Are we going around the curve? We are not. There's an IC at Dresden Nude Start, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, coming up to 30 seconds. There's our Morpeth, so we'll start to slow down. I'm waiting very late before I slow down, because I know this thing will stop pretty quickly. Maybe not as quickly as I thought, but Might make it. Where's the 80 board? There it is. I go past it at 100, that's not terrible. That's well within the safe limits of the track. Okay, gonna come off the throttle now. Grab C for there. Okay, if I can stay under a minute late, I'll be happy. There's the ICE I was talking about. Okay, I want to aim to hit the platform at about 40. Although we've got a long platform, so it probably doesn't make too much difference. Okay, I think we can still make up the time here. I think making up the time is certainly doable. Okay, we're in the platform now. We'll pull up to this H board. Okay, so we were about a minute and 20 seconds late, which wasn't bad, all things considered. Certainly not bad. Could be better, but not bad. It's quite quiet for rush hour, isn't it? Okay, lock the doors up. Let's get the brakes off. Let's go quite aggressive throttle to get out of here. Come on. Okay, bit more throttle. Because I really don't have much time to lose here. Got 2 minutes to go 2 kilometers. Cannot afford to lose time. Alright, we might be slightly late, but, you know, what can you do? Okay, we'll have to drop our speed down to 60 in a second. Gonna wait quite late on this one as well. Okay. Coming into Dresden now. past a station. What station is this? Dresden Freiberger Strasse. Can I leave the train, please? Can I leave? No, I can't. Okay, right. Got Dresden Hauptbahnhof, platform 1. That's one of the one of the through platforms. It's a shame that they haven't put any of the tilty boys in, just as AI, or have they? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they have without me noticing that I haven't. Failure. Okay, so that's 1 minute late now. Okay, and let's go some brakes now. Oh, that's brilliant. It's just taking me outside. That is fantastic. What I wanted. And grab the doors. Lovely. That is actually quite cool, that sound. It takes a while to open. Oh, you're kidding, I haven't stopped. Oh, I don't care. I don't care. Well, thank you all very much for watching. Do check out the links in the description and consider donating if you are able. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye and good luck, Ukraine.